Chris Keebler, Communications Director here at TrueNorth Community Services. Welcome to the second episode of Good Happens Here, the TrueNorth podcast, where we take a deep dive into topics we hope you'll care as much about as we do. I need to mention that audio-only versions of our podcast are available on all major podcast host sites for 90 days only after they initially post. After 90 days, they're only available in the video version on the TrueNorth YouTube channel. There is a Good Happens Here playlist with all the episodes available there. This episode is brought to you in part by local community theater troupe Lionheart Productions. For over 25 years, Lionheart has been producing quality, family-friendly live theater for Newaygo County and surrounding areas. In collaboration with TrueNorth, they have, in the past, loaned us props, costumes, and actors and continue supporting TrueNorth for our various events and services. They want to thank Newaygo County for supporting them and TrueNorth for all of these years. Lionheart Productions, keeping the arts at heart. Today we'll be talking about social isolation. If you're anything like me, maybe you've never heard that phrase before. I know I hadn't before we started a program called Community Connections here at TrueNorth a few years ago to address this issue locally. In a nutshell, it's the objective lack of social contact and relationships. Here in Newaygo County on the west side of Michigan, we live in a rural area. We're anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour or more from Grand Rapids to the south, Muskegon to the southwest, or Big Rapids to the northeast. We love our peace and quiet and the quaint small towns that dot our countryside. It is beautiful, but it also makes it very easy to get isolated. Joining me today is the Director of the Community Connections Programs here at TrueNorth, Jackie Knight. Welcome to the podcast, Jackie.
Thank you, Chris.
Right.
I'm excited to be here.
You spent many years as an educator in Newaygo County, in Newaygo School District in particular, right?
Correct.
Most of the time as a principal, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
Did you spend time in the classroom?
I was a teacher for many years, then I was assistant principal, athletic director, then moved to principal.
So you did spend time in the classroom as a teacher, as you know.
I do.
And so full career, 30 plus years? 30
Yeah.
years?
Yep.
Okay. Did you ever think when you were a teacher that you would one day be the local expert in social isolation?
Absolutely not.
Right.
It's been such a learning curve for me, coming from public education to the nonprofit world. I've learned a lot in the last 4 years. So
Of that.
it's been awesome.
You didn't hear me say this because I did it in the intro, but I defined social isolation as an objective lack of social contact and relationships. Do you think that's a good working definition?
Absolutely. Just a lack of social connections, social relationships, not being a member of any group, not really having an outlet other than oneself, and being isolated and no one to talk to.
Right. So the causes of social isolation are kind of varied. There's not any one thing that causes it. You can be socially isolated in a rural area, in an urban area, in a suburban area, right? It doesn't really matter. But there are some things specific to where we live in a rural setting. But what are some causes of social isolation? That's a word I have trouble with, isolation.
That's a tough one, that's for sure.
What are some causes?
Before we get into
Yeah.
that, if we could talk about, there's always conversation about loneliness versus social isolation, and I think we really need to define that before.
Yep.
You know, loneliness is a subjective feeling. It's a feeling of sadness, one feeling that they don't have anybody that they connect to. They could be in a
room
full of people and still feel very lonely.
Right.
Social isolation is really the lack of any access or outlet to connection and human connection, whether that be through technologies or through what we're doing right here.
Right.
So I just think we need to clear that up before we get started.
Not just a feeling lonely.
Exactly.
It's an objective lack of social contact.
It's objective,
Yeah.
yes. Where loneliness is subjective.
Right. Yes. And that's a good point to make. All right. So what do we think some of the causes of social isolation are?
Oh, there's many causes. A move, for instance. Somebody may move into the area and not know anybody and don't even know where to begin to find a connection. you may have a death, you may retire, and that for a lot of people is really hard because you have a work-life family that you no longer have then.
Every day you're going to spending 8 hours a day with this group of people, and then suddenly you're home every day by yourself.
Now you're home by yourself.
Yeah.
But even, we'll get there, but it hits all age groups. It's not only in the older population or the younger, it's all ages
Right.
that social isolation hits. And the sky's the limit on the causes of it.
Yeah.
Many people don't think of it, but somebody with a terminally illness become very isolated.
Very isolated, yeah.
Yeah,
They're not out and doing things anymore because they're maybe not able to.
absolutely.
I've seen that happen with loved ones and friends.
Yeah.
Most people probably have. So major life changes like loss, relocation, being unable to form quality connections despite having people around, all causes. So we talk about who's primarily affected or impacted by social isolation. It covers all age groups. Our programs are for the I don't say the aged, but it's 55 and older, which we're both in this age group. I know. Our people. So yeah, we're in that group. What are some differences you think between men and women in this population group, the 55 and older who are experiencing social isolation? Is there a difference?
Yeah, I think there's a big difference. I think, I got to say this correctly.
Delicately? I'm a man, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I think women are more apt to seek out different activities that would fit their need or what they're looking for, where men may be a little bit resistant to say, I really don't need anything or anybody.
And we're speaking generally, of course, but yes.
We're speaking generally. But we found in gentlemen that there are so many things they can help us with, and whether it's a volunteer project, and we find that to be very inviting to them. They always want to give back, as do the ladies. We have so many people that are volunteering here, which regains a new purpose for them, and we've seen so much positivity when it comes to that.
You think that the difference might have something to do with the social part of social isolation, whereas men are like, I don't need to socialize. I'm fine being by myself watching reruns of Magnum on TV. That's my impression of an average guy. Because whereas maybe a woman might be more apt to say, I wouldn't mind doing something for fun with friends. Mm-hmm. A knitting circle is fun, sure. Whatever. And men are like, I don't need. I mean, they do. So that's why they might be more apt to get involved in a service project or doing something. They don't think of it as social, but
correct.
Is that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
I also think men just need to be asked. We have several men starting to come to our program, whether it's a dining all together program or it's playing cards. We have increased our numbers of males in the
Joker's Wild.
Card games, and like I said, we've had many more contacts in our programs for guys to get engaged.
So let's talk about some of the stigmas attached with social isolation. Now, whether or not anyone knows that phrase, there are still stigmas attached to it. Can we talk? What are some of them?
Well, nobody wants to admit that they're socially isolated.
Right.
So
even if they don't know what that phrase means, that I want to admit, they might say, I'm not alone or I'm not lonely. We're not talking about loneliness, but they might equate it with that. But so people just don't want to admit it.
They don't want to admit it, and it's. I
Why?
think,
What's the stigma?
it's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's because if you admit you don't have any social interaction, that says something about me?
Yeah,
So
I think so.
People might think I'm a loser or I'm boring or I'm whatever. That there's some kind of like they're maybe projecting some kind of a.
Well, I think when people get to that point, there might be underlying things, whether anxiety, depression.
That's a good point also, yeah.
A loss of a loved one, and that's extremely hard for them to talk about until they begin to trust us or trust those around them. So all those factors that add to being socially isolated are pretty tough conversations to have. And so for me to admit that I'm socially isolated, there's probably a reason behind it.
Yeah. There are some significant health risks that are involved with social isolation. Can you talk to some of those?
I can.
All right.
Being socially isolated is compared to smoking 15 packs of cigarettes a day.
A day?
A day.
No. Let me get this right. 15 packs a day.
15 packs a day.
It's an equally adverse health effect.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm not laughing because that's
It's
funny.
shocking.
It's shocking, yeah. My
Yes.
reaction is not appropriate, but that seems ridiculous. Wow, okay.
Yeah. I would like to also add that the Surgeon General in 2023 came out with an epidemic and around social isolation.
Really? Okay.
So it's not only in the rural areas, but it's across the United States. And some of the health risks that they talk about, there's, as I mentioned earlier, depression, anxiety, substance abuse around it.
Yep. Heart disease, cognitive decline.
The
Right.
heart disease, the cognitive decline. If you're sitting home alone by yourself, only talking to yourself, you don't get many answers sometimes.
Yep. It's amazing though that the increased risk for depression makes sense, anxiety, but increased risk for heart disease,
Dementia.
Your risk of death is higher.
Yeah, the mortality rate.
Mortality rate. I couldn't think of the word. The
Absolutely.
mortality rate. Yes. Simply because you're isolated, it shortens your lifespan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, pretty serious potential health risks involved. Do we have any statistics we can share?
Yeah, we do. Currently, the most current statistics that remember, we here at TrueNorth are focusing in on our older adults.
Yes.
And 50% of older adults have admitted in a survey that they are feel lonely, socially isolated, and that is a huge number.
Fully half
Fully half.
have admitted.
Half admitted.
Half of them
Half
admit it. So
admitted.
how many don't admit it, right?
Exactly,
Yeah. Okay.
right. I'm going to do a little twist here, but in the healthcare systems, we spent $6.7 billion just because of social isolation due to the rising healthcare costs. We have folks that will go to the doctor just to have somebody to talk to. They'll seek out their local police just to have somebody to talk to. The Medicare costs are rising because of it. Increased hospitalization in
Right.
nursing homes.
Right.
The suicide rate among older gentlemen has risen, all impacted by social isolation. The one big thing I think it will be shocking for a lot of people, by 2034, we are going to have
That's only 9 years away.
9 years away.
No, 8 years away. We're in 2026, so 8 years away.
Yes.
Yep.
8 years away. By 2034, the number of older adults 55 plus will
Be greater than
be
the.
greater than the those 18
Yeah.
and younger for the first time in the United States. I guess.
First time in the U.S. history, we're going to have more people over the age of 55 than 18 and under.
Absolutely.
So we've traditionally have always had more young people than old people.
More younger people than older people.
Right. Yeah. Wow, that's a huge stat.
That's huge. You know, we go out on the road talking about our programs, and people are shocked that is a fact.
Just a reminder, today's podcast is sponsored by Lionheart Productions. Rehearsals for their spring show, 12 Angry Jurors. It's a version of 12 Angry Men. It's set in modern day with male and female jurors, thus the name change, 12 Angry Jurors. Rehearsals are underway. Full disclosure, I'm in the show, and I can tell you already this is a quality, multi-generational cast, and it's going to be a great show. Come on out to see 12 Angry Jurors at the Grant Fine Arts Center on Friday, March 20th at 7:30 p.m. and Saturday, March 21st at 2:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. and at the Dogwood Center in Fremont on Friday, March 27th at 7:30 p.m., Saturday, March 28th at 7:30 p.m., and Sunday, March 29th, the matinee at 3:30 p.m. The opposite of social isolation would be social engagement, right?
Social engagement, social connections.
Social connection. So let's talk about community connections. This is the program that we do here. What are we doing with this program to combat social isolation and build social engagement?
Well, here at True North, what we do is we have what is called Community Connections, which is programming for older adults to get them connected so they're not socially isolated.
Right.
We pride ourselves on the fact that it's participant driven. Our participants
Tell us what they want to do.
or
Right.
community members tell us what they want to do, and we make it happen for them. It was originally started by a group of people that formed a committee to say, hey, we need to keep people in Newaygo County, and
we got to address this issue.
And they started an advisory committee and came up with a few different programs. They stuck, as you said. And then in collaboration with the Fremont Area Community Foundation, who is granted us the money for our program, Community Connections. We have been able to build that, and we not only have programs here at True North Service Center, but we take our programs on the road. We're out in the communities programming, drumming. We have a number of different things.
Right.
We do craft activities in many locations. We do coffee connections.
There's I call them field trips, so that sounds terrible. I mean, what do you guys call them? Outings.
Outings.
Yeah.
Outings.
We've gone to Art Prize, we've gone to theater, and
We've gone to theater.
our sponsor for this episode is Lionheart Community Productions, and their spring show is 12 Angry Jurors. So you guys come see it.
We're gonna
I'm in
go
it.
see it.
I'm in the
that
show.
would be
Yeah, I know.
awesome. We will definitely have an outing to come see that.
So some stuff happens here at True North. It's nice having this building. We have a really cool area to use. The community connections. What do you guys call that?
We call it the alley.
The alley.
The alley.
The back there, that's where the knitters meet.
We have dinners
Yeah.
once a month from 4 to 5:30. It's home cooked meal, and we have a number of people that attend, and we go out to dinner.
So
The sky's the limit.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff happening here, but then also a bunch of stuff happening out in the community. I know Coffee Connections, we have one day a week it does here, but there's several days a week it happens elsewhere.
Elsewhere, correct.
There were some local apartments. We'll go and meet in someone's apartment, or in the warmer weather, open the garage and sit out in the garage or out on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
There's a walking park down, what they call that, would be east and south of here.
Garfield Township Hall walking.
Yeah, so when the weather's good, we take people out and walk
Walk.
together, walking all together.
Walking
So
all
some of
together.
it happens here, and we're starting to do more stuff out in the community as well.
Correct.
Because not everyone can get here.
Correct. We have gardening. We have clay making projects.
Yeah,
you name
they're
it.
doing a metal sculpture thing. right
Correct.
now,
Today
yeah.
we're doing a metal sculpture. We have several people in making metal sculptures as we speak. One thing that we're really excited about up and coming, so if you know of any people, it's called the Legacy Project, and we're doing an intergenerational program where we have, we're going to have high school students interview older adults and write their life story and make a project about that life story. And then we will have a get-together of both families. We're hoping to do 10 per community, but we're starting with one community as a trial and learn what we don't know yet.
That's a really cool idea. I
Yeah,
love
we're
that
really
idea.
excited about that.
So how many years have we been offering Community Connections programming now? Is this 3, 4
We're
years?
going on 4 years.
Okay. Can you share any anecdotal stories you have about the positive impact you've personally seen on people involved and engaged with this programming? You've gotten to know several people probably pretty personally. Any stories come to mind of people?
Yeah, we have had several participants that we have seen really health benefits for them being socially engaged. You know, the pandemic took a toll on our older population.
Well, everybody, but them in particular, the older,
Yeah.
isolated population.
Absolutely. And we have had some participants that were in their homes for 3+ years without going out, and now they come to us 4 and 5 days a week.
Right.
We have had participants that was seeing a counselor for every week for a long time, and a psychiatrist every month. That has been cut down to seeing a counselor once a week or once a month, and a psychiatrist every 6 months. So when we want to boil it down to some really health benefits, we're seeing it.
Yeah.
And that is so rewarding and exciting for them.
So yeah, we have an endless font of stories of people that have been positively impacted, I'm sure.
Yeah. One of the things is that I hear over and over, a lot of older adults feel invisible and insignificant, and they're here having a purpose. And I don't even care if it's TrueNorth's programs,
Right.
just get involved and be a part of something, and be with other people.
Sure. So it's a good point to make that the stuff we do, it's social engagement. It's not just social engagement, it's not just fun stuff. They also do volunteer projects. There's a lot of giving back to the community. So, but that is a social thing. You know, when the Baking Together group gets together and they're baking baked goods, but then they deliver those to like the fire department, the police department, or
Correct.
wherever.
We pay it forward. We pay it forward to people that we want to recognize in the communities that are putting in hard work day in and day out, and might not get a thank you. And so our Baking All Together program pays it forward
Right.
every month.
The knitters, a lot of them are donating a lot of the hats and mittens to Children's Christmas program. We've done a couple year now collaboration with one of our after school time programs where
That's a really fun project, Chris. It's
the kids design. Well, you tell them. Yeah.
the kids design the hats. They color them the colors they want, and the knitters replicate that
So
to the exact T.
If you can imagine, a 55 or older woman gets a crayon drawing of a blue hat with a yellow lightning bolt on it and a star and done, and then they knit that exact hat. And the kids get it.
And the knitters won't let the hat go out until it's exactly
perfect,
how the
I know.
kids would like it.
I love that. And that's just a great example of a intergenerational connection thing. And they're not just knitting for the sake of knitting. They're doing it for something. Yeah.
They're always knitting for
Yeah.
a purpose. Another thing I'd like to mention is that I think it's important because we do have a large population of homebound seniors or older people. And we have started what's called package deliveries. And we started in December. And 3 times a year we will be, 3 more times, we will be taking packages that are made by our knitters, and our volunteers will be puzzle books and a knitted heart. And we take those out to those seniors that cannot get into the service center, but we will go to them.
Right.
And I think it's just important. I think they really look forward to those friendly visits with the package delivery.
I'll bet.
So,
Moving forward, do you see any trends or new ways that we might be utilizing to continue combating social isolation?
yeah, I'm glad you asked. We felt like there was a piece missing in a community connector piece that we were missing, that we knew there were more people out there that we needed to serve. So we wrote a grant, and we were able to get Tomei, it's Aging Well, Tomei grant, and
Is that a foundation, the Tomei Foundation?
yeah, it's Enterprise Foundation.
Okay.
The grant is Tomei.
Okay.
They granted us $500,000 to start our Engage program, and that is the connector piece that we felt we were missing, to go out and seek these individuals that may not have the confidence to come in by themselves. But if we could be out there speaking with people, We've already done 24 engagements out there on our speaking tour about, hey, we have these programs. Not only does Engage connect to our program here, but it connects out to many programs within the community,
Right.
whether it's a volunteer program, whether it's
Church program,
church program,
right.
you name it.
Right. And this has to do with something called social prescribing, which we're going to be talking about in, this is going to be our February episode. Our March episode, we're going to get more in depth on social prescribing in particular. So this is a good little teaser about that. If anyone's watching or listening who thinks they might be experiencing social isolation themselves, or maybe they know somebody, a relative or a neighbor who is, what would be their first step in accessing the services and programming provided by Community Connections? How do they get involved?
You know what? They, if they will call
Okay.
TrueNorth or email or stop in and see us, we will talk with them, find out what matters to them, and see if we can get them connected. And I just encourage you to come in and see what we have to offer. And
Yeah, so we'll get all the contact information on screen. I'll also say it for those that are listening. Did our discussion spark anything else you want to say about social isolation or what we do to combat it?
yeah, you know, I think all of us have a part in this. Me myself, I have found myself reaching out to others that I haven't for a long time. It's a 531 is what we call it in Community Connections, and you
Explain 531.
531 is you reach out and talk to 5 different people, you know, in a day, just 5 different people, whether it's a phone call, a text, just reach out and talk to 5 people. Then take 3 friendships and nourish those friendships. Really nourish those friendships, and then we encourage you to have 1 hour of interaction a day with other human beings. So that's what we encourage 531
Okay.
is 5, talk to 5 people, nourish 3 friendships, and have 1 hour of interaction a day with other people. You know, there's other things people can do. They can invite people to a meal that they might not
Have friends over for
have.
cards.
Listen out, listen. And, you know, one of the things I think is, it seems very simple, but it's a big deal. Really listen with intent without any technology distraction.
Yeah.
It means a lot to people.
Yep. Especially the older population in particular. Speaking of listening, thanks for watching and or listening to our second episode. If this discussion has sparked a realization that maybe you are experiencing social isolation, or maybe you want to get involved as a volunteer to help those who are, we encourage you to reach out to Jackie. I'll put her contact info on screen, but for those of you who are listening, you may call her here at TrueNorth at 231-924-0641, extension 187, or email her at jnight@truenorthservices.org. That's JKNIGHT, Night as in Knights of the Round Table, at True, TRUE, North, NORTH, Services, SERVICES.org, ORG. You may also visit our website at www.truenorthservices.org. We also want to give a quick shout out to Stephen Thwaites, who is our behind the scenes audio engineer for these podcasts. I forgot to thank him last episode. I'm not going to make that mistake twice. Thank you, Stephen. And lastly, if your business or organization, or even you personally, would like to sponsor future episodes of Good Happens Here, please reach out to me here at TrueNorth at 231-924-0641, extension 113, or via email at ckeebler@truenorthservices.org. Again, CKUEBLER at truenorthservices.org. That's it. Jackie, thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having me, Chris. I really appreciate it, and I think the topic of social isolation is so important to get the word out there.
I could not agree more. Thank you to Lionheart Productions for sponsoring our second episode, and to all of you, thanks for helping make good happen here.